Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving straight into a recap of Session 16, To Drink the Devil Dry. We're exploring a seriously harrowing descent where the cure for a demonic affliction proves far more terrifying than the disease itself. If you've been following the party's journey, you know they've been carrying a whole lot of baggage. But today, we are focusing on the literal fiend lurking inside Valesa's gut.
So, what happens when the cure is actually worse than the parasite? Valesa's desperate pact to rid herself of an infernal passenger is about to lead her into an unimaginable nightmare. You see, ever since her time in Avernus, Valesa has been tearing around this terrifying little entity, marked by the Lord of the Nine Hells himself. Removing it was never going to be a walk in the park, but what unfolds in this session is truly shocking.
Act 1, A Favor for a Ritual. Let's set the stage at the luxurious Sar Palace. Valesa and Sental arrive armed with bakery sweets and a freshly negotiated IOU for Sental's help. From her throne, Lady Violet confirms the terms. She'll perform the ritual, and in exchange, Valesa becomes her bodyguard.
Lady Violet then leads them over to this massive stone disc on the floor. Now, expecting your standard traditional magical ritual circle, Valesa awkwardly kicks off her shoe. But the reality is far more intimidating. The floor literally drops. It's a massive 15-foot deep earth elevator, and as it plunges down into the pitch black beneath the mansion, the true gravity of the situation really starts to hit them.
The elevator finally stops, and down in this freezing, cavernous space, Lady Violet guides them down a long hallway to the edge of an abyss. The scene here is just dripping with visceral dread. They're standing on this suspended stone platform, and looking down, Valesa recognizes the swirling mist and the faint glow of luminous fungi. They are hovering directly over the Underdark. And right in the center of this platform stands a single, imposing stone obelisk.
Act 2, The Hellwasps Awakens. Now what's really fascinating about this next phase is the horrifying twist Lady Violet casually drops on them just as the ritual kicks off. Because this is definitely not going to be a simple extraction. Talk about a terrifying bait and switch, right? Valesa's goal was super simple: destroy or expel the fiendish parasite. But Lady Violet calmly explains that simply won't work. It's returned before and it'll just return again. Instead, her solution is radically different. Valesa has to forcefully absorb the entity entirely, binding it to her own blood and becoming its permanent anchor.
And Valesa has absolutely no way to back out now. First, this powerful telekinetic force violently slams her against the stone obelisk, pinning her suspended in the air with her feet totally off the ground. Next, Lady Violet forces a small vial to Valesa's lips. It's this thick, metallic red liquid that tastes like a chewed copper coin, meant to fortify her. Finally, she unrolls a scroll and starts reading an infernal incantation, invoking the archdevil Mephistopheles. Sental, who speaks infernal, catches enough of the chant to realize just how horrifically permanent this is.
The effects are immediate and, quite frankly, grotesque. As Lady Violet casts a protective sanctuary ward on herself to safely watch from the sidelines, Valesa is hit with violent nausea. She starts vomiting torrents of red ectoplasmic goo, and within that goo is a translucent, fiery centipede. It's the soul of the parasite taking physical form. But it doesn't stop there. As it hits the ground, it rapidly mutates. Its abdomen swells up, its back splits open to sprout wings, and it manifests into a shrieking, luminous adult hell wasp right in front of them.
What follows is a desperate, brutal clash. The Hellwasp attacks instantly, its talons raking Valesa in a vicious strike that completely strips away her protective magical viper ward. When she tries to fight back with melee strikes, the wasp drives its stinger straight into her chest, hitting her with a paralyzing venom that freezes her muscles and drops her like a stone. Narrowly avoiding total disaster, Sental rushes in, casts Lesser Restoration to purge the poison, and unleashes a final hex-enhanced Eldritch Blast that causes the beast to shrivel up and die. Act 3, The Dhampir Transformation. But defeating the beast wasn't a victory at all. The moment the wasp died, its essence didn't just dissipate. It surged straight into Valesa like fire flooding through her veins, triggering a permanent and terrifying metamorphosis. Amidst the horror of Valesa's sudden, intense predatory hunger, we get this incredible moment of dark comedy. Valesa's canine teeth are aching and sharpening, and she is quite literally starving. Lady Violet calmly points out that without blood, she might actually die. When asked if they are willing to open a vein to save their friend, Sental just deadpans, "This will require another favor." They literally negotiate an IOU right before slicing their own arm open to save Valesa's life.
Valessa drinks, and it's not exactly a pleasant experience. The blood tastes of ash and copper, burning as it goes down, like really bad old wine. Drinking it does successfully stabilize her, but Lady Violet coldly confirms the grim reality of the situation. The parasite is contained, yes, but Valessa is no longer effectively a drow. She is a dhampir.
Lady Violet then lists out the severe new biological rules that Valessa has to live by. First, an intense predatory hunger that she has to regularly feed. Lady Violet warns that ignoring these cravings will cause them to spiral completely out of control. Second, the physical change of sharp canine teeth. And finally, much to Valessa's utter dismay, the sudden, mundane mortal requirement of needing a full 8 hours of sleep every single night.
And as if the hunger wasn't enough, the physical toll of the ritual is just pure body horror. Valessa's organic arm and leg, which she lost ages ago and replaced with advanced drow mechanical prosthetics, begin to spontaneously regrow. It is a slow, deeply uncomfortable process, with new flesh violently sprouting and physically pushing the metal prosthetic caps right off her stumps. The imp, Quillbit, even playfully picks up one of the detached mechanical arms and swings it around like a pendulum, while Valessa stands wobbly on her brand new flesh foot. It's a huge testament to Valessa's character that amidst all this horrifying trauma, her mind goes straight to logistics. She laments the highly practical issue of suddenly having a left foot for the first time in 100 years, saying, "God damn it, I only have right shoes." It's a fantastic, brief moment of grounding reality in a completely absurd and magical situation. But unfortunately, that humor is incredibly short-lived. Lady Violet guides them back up the deep earth elevator to the surface level of the mansion, and once they're there, the most painful consequence of the entire night arrives. It doesn't come from the hunger or the bizarre body horror, but from a haunting reflection. Quillbit, vibrating with barely contained excitement, produces a hand mirror and holds it right up to Valessa's face.
What she sees in that mirror is absolutely devastating. Valessa previously had these beautiful amethyst eyes, which were a symbol of her hard-won freedom after escaping the Underdark, but her reflection reveals that her eyes have turned red. For Valessa, this color is a direct visual link to her past enslavement in Menzoberranzan under Lolth, a goddess of paranoia and cruelty that she refuses to even name. It is an absolute emotional gut punch. Chantal gently suggests she could learn illusions to hide them, which prompts a deeply distressed Valessa to snap her fingers and turn herself invisible on the spot as a joke. Quillbit immediately smacks the invisible Valessa with her tail in retaliation, which Valessa dryly notes is a very bad idea to do to someone with almost no blood left in her body.
So, it leads us with this heavy question. If your very blood binds you to an infernal beast, and your reflection mirrors your deepest trauma, how much of your hard-won freedom is actually left? I'll leave you with that final thought to ponder as Valessa steps into her new, darkly altered reality. She survived the parasite, but the price was a terrifying transformation that brought the ghosts of her past right back to the surface. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.
In the hush beneath the stone, I learned to kneel and never own the trembling breath inside my chest, the prayers that rotted with the rest, her silver knives, her sacred threads, her web of fear around our heads. I wore the dark and called it grace, while tears were dried upon my face. And now my eyes burn red again, like the nights I could not mend. Just wounds that open every time. A stray guide me through let your moonlight break the chain. I fled the spider and the scream, ran from the silk of every dream that told me pain was holy fire, that hope was weakness, mercy ire. But hunger came with fang and vein, a crimson curse, a second chain, and in the mirror cold and still I saw that old familiar chill. Now my eyes burn red again, like the nights I could not mend. They are not hers, they are not mine, just wounds that open every time. Let your moonlight break the chain. I sing with flames in silver light, I dance to make the darkness light. Yet every step remembers where I learned to fear my own despair. My blood is cursed, my heart is true. Still I would rather walk with you than wear the crown of endless spite, than bow again to endless night. Hear me, moon above the trees, hear the trembling in